Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be discussing the three similarities to a Mauser bolt action, a Mosin Nagant bolt action, and a straight pull rifle. I'm going to start with the Mosin Nagant, which I currently own. So, some of the similarities that I found with both, well, actually all three, were the actual idea of the bolt removing or going to the rear to be able to load the next round. Another similarity that I found that all three of them, once the new round is in place, locks it in a chamber so that when it's ready to expel the next round, all you gotta do is pull and the round it expels. Some of the key differences that I've noticed between the Mosin Nagant and the Mauser, which I have a picture of it right here, is that the mechanism and the manufacturing of the bolt assembly are completely different. There's a lot more simplicity with the Russian made versus the German made. Not saying that one is better than the other. For me, I've noticed, because I have fired a German Mauser before, and I didn't have any issues with it. I just felt that there was a little bit more the ability of failure to happen because there was more mechanics around the bolt. Another, and unfortunately, I don't have a perfect example of a straight pull versus the other two. But what I do have is what the early stages of the straight pull had inspired, which is the semi-automatic. The idea of pulling back and playing straight back, and then that movement locking the bolt into the chamber where the barrel was. The Modern Dragon straight pull bolt action rifle was essentially the first semi-automatic rifle from the information that I had done for this discussion question. I actually went and searched on YouTube, which brought up a video for the channel Forgotten Weapons, and he kind of goes through that particular rifle, and that one is a bolt action, but it also was working as a semi-automatic because it had a selector switch between semi or from safe to fire to uh, semi-automatic, which I thought was very interesting. Part of the differences between the Mosin Nagant and the Russian Mauser, including my AR, and how to spot the differences is between the AR and the two bolt action is that's a straight pull versus lifting the bolt and pulling it back and locking it forward. Those are kind of the key ways that you can tell the difference between a straight pull versus a bolt action rifle. And the difference, the way that you can tell the difference between the Mosin Nagant versus the Mauser is, for me personally, is the amount of mechanical work or mechanical design between the two. The 9130, the Mosin Nagant, has a more simpler build to its mechanics than the German Mauser. I've owned mine since 2010, and I've put well over 3,000 rounds through it, and I've never had an issue. The only issue that did come about was due to a bad primer on a round, and that would be the only time I've ever had an issue with it. I have fired a German Mauser where the first 50 rounds that I did put through it, I had maybe 1 or 2 catch-ups with the bolt. And that could have been me just learning how to operate that weapon. That could have been more operator error than the weapon actually malfunctioning. But those were some of the things that I had noticed between those 3 types of rifles. Yes, I know that the AR is, it's essentially the same thing as a straight pull, other than the fact that it does not have the bolt action handle that a bolt action straight pull rifle would. But the mechanics from this research that I did are very similar, and that was the best way I could show an example between the 3. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I can't wait to hear your guys' response. Thank you. Bye.